What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and today I'm going to be going over a whole bunch of super easy shiny hunts for you to do with isolated encounters in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Teal Mask. Now, if you're not familiar with the term isolated encounter shiny hunting, is a term that I coined during the main release of the game, which basically has to do with there's a pool of Pokemon, and now we're gonna look for some of the rarest types amongst that, and then we're just gonna shiny hunt them using sandwiches. Simple concept, right? A great example of that is right here in the Teal Mask. Pretty much everywhere in the grass, if you were to use a Psychic type encounter level 3, you're only gonna be getting Raltsline. There's one massive change that you're going to notice between how encounters work in the Teal Mask versus the base game, and that has to do with the band spawns, or as I call them, the pack spawns, which is basically, if you have a Kirlia, you're gonna have the Ralts that spawn around it. As opposed to here in the base game, every time that this game is gonna be spawning in a Slowbro, it's always gonna be having the 5 Slowpoke around it. Here in the Teal Mask, all of them are always a % chance that it can happen. For example, this Kirlia only has a 20% chance that it's going to spawn Ralts around it. So because of that, we're going to be focusing on only the 100 brand new Pokemon added in the Teal Mask. I've already covered how to make sparkling sandwiches so much, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I might just have a little note at the bottom on the recipe that I'm using, but there are so many options about what you want to make. Right now, I'm making a sandwich for dark types because there are 2 different dark types that we're going to be going after. The first is going to be pretty much everywhere directly west of the main starting road here on Apple Hills. Ignore that outbreak right there, but we're actually just going to be walking around here because this is going to be a 100% Poochyena spawn. As we look around, every time that we're on the grass, it's only going to be spawning Poochyena. None of those bug types or flying types or anything else. If you're getting near rock mountains or trees, you may see some other things spawning in, but on the grass is just going to be these pups. So the Poochyena are going to be a bright gold color. They're going to be really, really difficult to miss. Next up is going to be the Violet version exclusive Morpeko. Morpeko is actually going to be able to spawn at, oh, I missed it, at so many different locations. However, in my opinion, the easiest one is definitely going to be right outside of the cave. Like there's the Ogre Pond cave from the story. And then if you just head out this way to this area right next to this terastallized Geodude, there's only going to be Morpeko spawning here. And Morpeko shiny is the dark part of its body remains the same. The leather part of its body is slightly different, but most noticeably is that the middle part of its body is going to be a bright white color. And as a friendly reminder, that's going to be located right here, right where I am. This target marker right here is going to be the actual entrance that you need to go to. Next up, I'm going to be looking at Dragon. There is only one, and it's just Jangmo-o. Here at the Paradise Barrens, this is actually where we're going to be doing a lot of encounters, just because of its very unique pool of Pokemon that can be here. There's not a lot of different types that are stepping on each other's toes. And here at the Paradise Barrens, you're only going to be finding Jangmo-o as long as you have a dragon recipe on. Jangmo-o shiny is going to be super easy for you to see because instead of a bright yellow / gold heart on its head, it's going to be bright pink, and you are not going to be able to miss it. Next up, we're going to be doing fighting types. Here in the Paradise Barrens, the same place that we were just for Jangmo-o, you're going to be finding Timber. Timber is going to be the only fighting type Pokemon here. Now, there is Jangmo-o, which is here, and something that I was just reminded is that Jangmo-o is only a pure dragon type, only his evolutions are also part fighting. Timber is also very easy to spot because he's another Pokemon that changes color completely and it becomes bright yellow. Timber is regular, and then Timber is shiny. Let's call it, like, I don't know, cream soda colored. Next up is gonna be Meinfoo, and for Meinfoo we're gonna have to make our way inside of the Chilling Water Head. If you have a Fighting 3 dish on, Meinfoo is gonna be the only Pokemon that you're going to be seeing in here whatsoever. It is going to be everywhere. I like to come down to this level over here, and then you come up the passageway just a little bit. You throw out your Let's Go Mon on this middle floor over here, and then we go up to the very top to this one spot up here. If we don't see it, we then turn around, hop on down, and continue this entire circle. Do I need a Meinfoo? I think I need a Meinfoo. Okay, found one, and that took a little over 15 minutes. And before we continue on, I just want to say if you're enjoying the channel and you're not subscribed, you may want to consider subscribing at this time. Being subscribed or not to this channel doesn't affect how much I show up in your recommended videos. You watching this video and reaching this point is the thing that lets YouTube know that you want to see more of me. Next up is going to be Bug. We're going to be going after Charjabug and Grubbin. There's a few different places that you're going to be able to find them. And what's really weird is there's no one place that it has exclusively just them. There's always going to be a small chance you're going to be finding Spinarak or Ariados. However, I found one in particular area that seems to spawn only Grubbin and Charjabug, which is going to be right here on the map. So just north of the Wisteria Pond in the Wistful Fields, this is where you're going to be able to find this little bit of an area that for some reason only spawns them in. When it comes to their actual colors, it's going to be kind of easy to spot. Over here, you're going to be seeing a regular one, and then over there was a shiny one. The front, instead of orange, is going to be red. I accidentally ran into this cutie fly, and he goes and runs off to the left, which makes me very nervous, and I'm like, you need to get back here, guy. Yeah, this old guy went pretty far. But yeah, front is gonna be red, body is gonna be white. Also, funny story, I saw this this mass outbreak just north of me, and I'm like, you know what? For some reason, I feel like it's a Charjabug. I knocked out a wild one, and then the Charjabug icon showed up for me. And then I went and I hopped down, and there was a shiny one for me right there. And I'm like, oh great, now I don't have to go to the outbreak. Next up is gonna be Fairy, and I actually have two Fairy types for you. One of them is going to be easy and one of them is going to be a little less easy. Now there is an event happening at the end of September for the first promoted mass outbreak, which is going to be Clefairy. Right now I'm making my way inside of the main cave system underneath the peak. In case you don't know about the cave that I'm in right now, you may want to rewind the video and then see the exact cave that I go in. And right here on this little strip, you're going to be finding just Cleffa and Clefairy. The occasional Carbink, but we actually have a better place to go for Carbink. And to shiny hunt these is very, very easy. First, clear out all the ones that are near you, get off of your ride Pokemon, and then just walk to the end of the tunnel, and then face the entranceway, and then you put your controller down. Because the only place that Pokemon can spawn for you right now is at the end of this walkway. And your Let's Go Mon is gonna be going and knocking all of them out. You gonna bug out? You gonna bug out? He bugged out. And wait for a shiny. By the way, if you guys don't know what I just did, that's the zoom function inside of the system settings for accessibility that allows you to double tap the home button and you can zoom in on certain things. It makes looking at a tiny little area like this a little bit easier. So next is going to be Carbink. From Crystal Pool, I'm gonna be going into that same cave that I was just in, the Oni Mountain. And as you're falling down, there's gonna be this little hole in the wall. You're gonna be finding some Carbink. Also, your first time in here, you're gonna be finding big nuggets, some luxury balls, and a bunch of valuable items. The only problem is, as these Pokemon spawn in, so do Pokemon below it, down there, that I'm not actually able to get in focus right now. So in order to get these Pokemon to despawn and respawn, what you need to do is set up a picnic in the middle of here. While during the picnic, we're gonna head toward the entranceway. And we're going to walk toward this edge as soon as we can. This will give all the Pokemon inside a chance to respawn faster than the ones down there. I got 11 out of the 15 total spawns, so that's not bad at all, and much faster than you've ever found Carbink before. I've learned for a fact it does not matter if you have a mass outbreak going on or not. In this clip right here, you'll see that I do have the Carbink mass outbreak, but my results on what Pokemon are going to be here are exactly the same. The only difference is if you go and you knock out the 60, you're going to have this slightly higher shiny odds. And considering how slow this hunt is anyways, you may want to just wait for the mass outbreak to spawn, or just, you know, roll your date forward with any type of fairy type of dish on or wall on top of Oni Mountain for the chance for Carbink to spawn as a mass outbreak. Next up is going to be one of my favorite types, which is going to be Fire. First one, we're going to be doing a Slugma, and we're actually going to be going down from the Crystal Lake down to the Infernal Pass. You want to make your way to this area over here that has this one stream in the middle, and you see that one bridge? We're going to be going to that peak there, and then that small mound there. back and forth. Doing this path during the daytime, because if you do it in the afternoon, you're gonna be getting Litwicks like that one over there. You do need to be careful because he is really hard to spot. In this clip right here, this is when I first did it. As you can see during the daytime, there's no Litwicks. You're gonna go from one side to the other side. From one mound to the next. Look around, and there he is. You saw him? They really, really blend in with the ground. So much so that you're probably not going to be seeing the Slugma in this clip until I make contact with it. Ready? I didn't see it. Next up is going to be Vulpix. In the Timeless Woods, as long as it is not evening or night, the only fire type is going to be here is going to be Vulpix. If you're coming here evening or night, you're also going to be finding Litwick and Lampent. That's his name. Now it's going to be time for the flying type Pokemon using some Brajoot. Yes, in New Jersey, that word right there, that word is pronounced Brajoot. Also, I don't know a single person who would be like, you know what this salted cured meat needs? More salt on the sandwich. First, we're gonna be doing Yanma, and golly, Yanma is everywhere in this game. I personally don't believe you're actually going to need to hunt down a Yanma at any point in time because of how common they are. But as you're going through this main entrance and the rest of Kitakami, you're gonna be seeing the only flying type during the day, not during evening and night, because then you have the Volbeat and Illuminate like that guy over there. You're gonna be finding only Yanma everywhere, and he is bright blue colored, and it's pretty hard to miss. Next up is going to be Ducklett. Down here at the Mossville Confluence, once you make your way down here to the water, if it's daytime, the only flying type Pokemon that you're going to be seeing is going to be Ducklett. However, if it's afternoon or evening, you're going to be finding Volbeat and Illuminate flying everywhere as well. Next up, we have ground types. And the first ground type is going to be Sandshrew here in the Paradise Barrens. Sandshrew is going to be right there. It's been a while since we had one of those. One of those unexpected shinies in the middle of recording. I mean, this one was expected. That's literally the purpose of this video. So Sandshrew is going to be here in the Paradise Barrens. It's the only ground type Pokemon besides Mudbray. However, because Mudbray is no longer going to be that band spawn or pack spawn like it was before, you're going to be able to find mostly Sandshrew, a little bit of Geodude. But the most important part of all three of these is their shiny is so uniquely colored that you're going to be able to spot it out no problem. Mudbray becomes like more of a pink color, its entire body is different. Geodude goes from gray to bright gold, and Sandshrew, instead of being yellow, is green. All three of these Pokemon are vastly different colored in their regular forms and in their shiny forms. While I was doing this yesterday, I found 3 Geodudes that I didn't need while I was looking for a Sandshrew, which I just found now, so great. Next up is going to be Cantonian Wooper, and Wooper exists actually in a number of areas that you shouldn't have too much trouble with. One of them is going to be the lake to the north, which is where I am right now, in the Kitakami Wilds. And if you're using a ground type dish, the only ground type Pokemon in the water is going to be Wooper and Quagsire. While you're doing this hunt, you may want to be on land and then just look in the water. So like away, and then you spin back, and then you come back to the water, and then you don't hit the Sudowoodo. And oh, there's a shiny Wooper in the water. Yeah, they're instead of bright blue, they're bright pink. So very easy for you to spot. There's also going to be some Whiscash in the water. They're typically at the bottom. If you could actually see right above my Premier Ball, there's one down there. Next up is going to be Gligar, who is an exclusive only in Scarlet. Oh, I am still in the tutorial in this playthrough. Okay, give me a minute. Here at the Gorge, you're going to be finding a bunch of them, but you're also going to be finding Woopers. So because of that, we're going to be heading north just here. On this plateau, you're going to be finding only Gligar up here. That's the only ground type, and we found one. GG easy. Next up is going to be ghost types, and here at the Crystal Pool, if you have a ghost type recipe on and it's, I think, afternoon and night, you're only going to be finding Litwicks. Everywhere. Litwicks. As far as the eye can see. So every single spawner that is able to spawn you a Litwick is going to be spawning you a Litwick. Next up is going to be the ghost type Phantump. Now for Phantump, you're going to want to make your way to the Timeless Woods, and you're going to want to do it during the day, because if you do it during the evening or during the night, you're also going to be getting the Litwick line. But if it's during the day, then those guys are not going to be spawning. You're only going to be finding Phantump, Trevenant, and the occasional Mimikyu. This is how I was able to find mine. Look at him. Such a beautiful little autumn boy. Next up is normal, and I'm noticing a little weird thing here. As you can see, I have Encounter Power Normal 3 on, and there's no Pokemon whatsoever. By the way, I'm all the way at the southeast of the map at the Mossville Confluence, and there's no Pokemon here. I'm starting to think that this might be the exact same situation that Fluttermane is. That if you were to go back and forth here, you're not seeing any Hoothoot or Noctowl, but you may find a shiny one because the shiny ones won't be automatically despawned. So I only did this for about 15 minutes and I was unsuccessful, but if this ends up being a thing and someone gets bored and decides to try this out, do me a favor, leave a comment down below that during the day or afternoon, not nighttime, you won't have any Noctowl or Hoothoot spawn unless they're shiny, just like the Fluttermanes did. Okay, next up is going to be Sentret and Furret, and in order to get them... Oh, there's one. I compared the entire map and I was like, wait a second. If I find a cave near here, I'm good, and then I think I remember one with the Sand Slash, so... If you come here, right to the left of the Kitakami Hall, and you come down here to the bottom area, there's a little cave inside of here with a terastallized Sand Slash. And inside of here, if you hug one of the walls, like right here, then they're gonna spawn in the opposite corner. And when they spawn in the opposite corner, you just send out your Let's Go-mon with a normal 3 on, and the only thing that you're going to not knock out is a shiny Sentret. I think you could also get Furret here, so I just want to test it out of if I just keep knocking them out, am I going to keep getting more? That's the Sentret mine over there, and Vikavolt just mining away till he finds me a gem. Isn't that right, boy? Yes, it is. There we go. We got another one to spawn in. And Vikavolt's gonna, you know, give me the little sweat icon to let me know he's not gonna knock him out. Or just come back to me, that's fine too. Oh, hi. Hi, you guys down there. You don't look very happy about this, but okay. Yoink. Yeah, that did not take long at all. That was like 5 minutes. Same thing happens with Feebas, by the way. If you're trying to get Feebas out of the water, then you could do something pretty similar. Go and get yourself either a Feebas Outbreak or just Feebas in general. You can go to that same one cave where Feebas is, and if you go out of the room, turn around, come back into the room, and then you hug the right wall, you're gonna force all of the spawns to crowd the spawner, which is under the water and you can't see it, and then they're all gonna purge out of the water after like 4 or 5 seconds, including if there's a shiny. He's just gonna be there. I think he's gonna show up on the left in a second. There he is. Next up is going to be the only ice type from the Mossville Confluence. We're just gonna cross the river and head north just the slightest bit, and that's gonna get us Swinub. And yeah, he is the only ice type, so if you just run around this grass, eventually you're gonna be seeing the shiny, who's yellow colored. Yeah, see that Lombre in the back? We're too close to the water, and we're pulling in that encounter table. Oh, is that one right there? Nope, just afternoon light hitting him a certain way. Time for poison type, which means that it's time for our favorite, the salty noodle sandwich. We take noodles, we put on sandwich, and we are done. This is sandwich. I mean, like, it's just the worst attempt at a sandwich. There are 2 poison types that we are going to be going after, Jesse and James. They're poison types, specifically. At the Crystal Pool, if you're using a poison type sandwich, the only thing you're gonna be getting is your occasional Glimmet over here, your more occasional Glimora. Up here, you're gonna find Koffing, and Koffing shiny is very easy to see because it goes from purple to what I'm gonna call Seafoam Green. I feel like it was almost unfair for me my first time doing this hunt because I fast traveled here, and while I was done fast traveling here, I crossed the bridge and then I immediately just found shiny Koffing. And there he is. He puts out like bright purple smoke, so pretty easy to see. And next we're going to be going after Ekans, who appears so many places in the overworld. However, we can actually use the same cave trick that we were using before for Clefairy. So inside of this cave, you're going to have a few poison types that are going to be showing up. You're going to be finding Ekans, you're going to be finding, forgot his name, and you're going to be finding Glimet. Now, the reason I decided to include Ekans on this list, despite the fact that there's 2 other Pokemon that are going to be here, is because you can do this with the most minimal amount of effort, without an outbreak or anything else. You come here to the end of the cave, you send out your Let's Go Mon, and as long as he makes his way all the way to the end of the cave, you're going to be able to shiny hunt all of your poison types, and particularly Ekans. Because otherwise, in the overworld, you're going to be dealing with... Did I get it already? Yep, there we go, boom, shiny Ekans. It works. There's a reason I'm making this video. Even if I'm doing one of these sections and a shiny isn't showing up, I know the strategy works. Plus, on your way to get shiny Ekans, you have, you know, what is it, the 1 out of 8 chance to get the female Salandit or Salazzle? And for our third poison type, we're going to be going after Spinarak, who appears absolutely everywhere. However, if you come here to the Kitakami Wilds at the most north of the map, then Ariados and Spinarak are going to be the only poison types here. Spinarak goes from green to blue, and considering the fact that the grass is green, you're going to be running into them by accident. It's a real thing. Being able to tell the difference between the green one, the regular, and the shiny one, which is the blue one over there, pretty easy. I did the screenshot because of the RGB. Get it? Because I'm a gamer? Okay. Next up, we have this beautiful jalapeno sandwich in order for us to get our rock-type Pokemon. And if we were to go over here to the Paradise Barrens, you're going to notice that there's going to be a whole bunch of nose paths here. Oh, if you need some Sudowoodo, there you go, over here. But, you know, he's not new, so wait. Is Sudowoodo new? If he is, then Sudowoodo's here. Boom. Extra. Wow, this is a really efficient sandwich. Oh, yep, look at that. Boom. Shiny Sudowoodo. Totally meant for that. That was meant to be in this video. And the very last Pokemon that we're going to be going after is going to be Lotad. If we come here to the Wisteria Pond, the only Pokemon who can spawn in this water is Lotad. There we go. So you're going to very regularly see them spawn in 5 at a time. On the side of the water, in the water, next to the water, on top of the water, within the water. That's going to be a whole bunch of these Pokemon that I just covered on isolating the counter super easy shiny hunts. Which did you find the most easy? And let me know if you did all of them. If you did, leave a comment down below, or hit the thumbs up button if you just found this useful. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, Austin John out.
Man, they see me shining like I got the charm. Stay strapped, got that jet ball in my palm. Felt from the sky, guess I'm the chosen one. And if you need to know how, check out Austin John. Champion flow, yeah, I got that champion flow.